Hi everyone, it's Justine. This video is not meant as a beginner's guide to Pinterest. There are more than enough of those on YouTube already. This video is meant more as a creative guide, assuming you know the basic functions and how to pin on Pinterest already. I'd like to share with you 5 tips that I have learned through time by using Pinterest myself and why I think it's in fact a great tool for creativity. Tip number 1. Specific boards on Pinterest are more inspiring and more efficient than generic boards. Let me explain. A generic topic to collect pictures for could be architecture. More specific it is if you do Bauhaus architecture. Even more specific would be Bauhaus architecture that includes 90-degree angles. If you do that, the more detailed and specific you go, the more graphic your architectural board is going to get and the more visually inspiring it will become. You could also collect seasons. For instance, I have a board about winter, which you see here. I'll come back to that one in a couple of minutes though. You can do a board for a project. For instance, if you want to redecorate your living room or you're looking for inspiration to build yourself a DIY and crafts room, that's a very concrete project, so that's an easy board to do. Or you could be even more specific and not collect things, objects, but collect textures or colors. If you are cool skinned, you can collect on one board cool colors. If you're warm skinned, you could, for instance, collect pictures of people who are warm skinned for future inspiration for your own wardrobe and research, or just to train your eye into recognizing warm and cool. Then if you also want boards that are more fashion specific, which I highly encourage, obviously, you could collect garment types like dresses, jackets, shoes, hats. I've been hearing you want a video about hats, so I'm going to work on that one. Or you could collect pockets or colors, whatever you like. You could organize several boards in a chronological way, for instance, fashion through the decades, and you have one board by decade, or you can do that geographically, fashion in each continent or in countries where you have already traveled to during your holidays, and then you can fill in the gaps by traveling to more countries. That's a great reason to travel, so you can make more boards later. You could also collect pictures by type of art. For instance, I do portrait photography, but only things that I have never seen before, no classical portraits of any kind. I love that board, and it made me discover a lady called Sherman, who is a great self-portrait photographer, and I've been a fan of hers since that time. So that's how one board builds up my horizon a lot broader, so to say. So really that's the essence of using Pinterest. The more specific you get, the more inspiring it is, and the more you're going to learn on the way. Tip number 2, don't just pin from Pinterest to Pinterest. It sounds a bit silly, but here's the thing. Pinterest tends to suggest new visuals to you that are similar to things that you have already seen and pinned. When you're doing Pinterest for inspirational purposes, you don't want to narrow down the choices of what you're getting. You want to broaden the range. So it is in fact a bit counterproductive. That's why I'm saying don't just pin from Pinterest, also pin from other blogs when you do research, from Tumblr, from any other source on the internet. And offline, you can also take pictures in your daily life of things you see on the streets, in nature, and upload those onto the boards. Those pictures are more personal, so they're gonna have a bigger weight within your board on Pinterest once you have uploaded them. You want pictures like that to make your boards richer, so to say. Tip number 3, do not work on too many boards at the same time. You know how people say multitasking, humans can multitask, especially women, even more moms. That's a fake skill. There's no such thing as multitasking. The brain works in monotask. It can do several things one after another, but not at the same time, seriously. So if you're working on too many boards at the same time, you might miss a gem you just got a glimpse of on the street. You want to catch that gem when you see it. Yeah, you don't want to miss it. So work ideally on one board a day or a week so that you can really focus on that, and everything you're going to be looking at will be analyzed through the filter of that one thing you're researching at the moment, of that one topic. And it's more efficient when you're doing visual research. Tip number 4, once you have at least 50 or maybe even 100 pictures on a board, if you look at it again, you might learn something about yourself. For instance, my board about winter, I found out looking at it after a while that that season for me is more a feeling, a set of feelings than just a color palette or textures or something cold. That was a haha moment for me because I wasn't really aware of that. I found out that there is a word for that in Scandinavian languages, and I think in Swedish it's called Hygge. It means coziness, it means warmth at home in winter, in a nice place with nice people, and it feels good inside. So in other languages, but not in mine, there is actually a word for that concept I've been looking for. So now I'm researching the topic of Hygge further. What I'm trying to say is Pinterest, doing boards in general, helps you understand more about how you personally see life. Tip number 5. Where your brain, your memories, your feelings, your boards take you does not have to be public. You can start a profile, pin for years without anybody knowing. You can release your boards for the public later if you wish to, but you never have to. For me, that's the advantage of Pinterest over Instagram. It doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's looking at your follower numbers. Nobody's checking if you use the same filter and the same structure for each picture. I have a huge problem with that on Instagram. Nobody's going to judge you based on a Pinterest page. Nope, not even if you work in a creative field. No one cares. It's just for you. So I'd like to encourage anybody watching this right now. Even if you think, oh, I'm not creative, I don't have a good eye for this, I'm not sure, my boards maybe wouldn't look that good, I would like to encourage you guys to try it. The more you do, the better you get, and better doesn't mean picture perfect, it means better in understanding how you see the world and what your personal interpretation of things is. And that's the most creative exercise and the best learning path of all. Pinterest is a great place to experiment with zero pressure. So if I could convince you guys to start, try it, start pinning, thumbs up, but to you. I'm happy also to answer any question on creative work, visual research, creativity in general. Feel free to ask them in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you Wednesday and Sunday, as every week. Until then, take care, and here are 2 more videos for you to watch. Bye bye.